All right, so welcome to another community update. So this is definitely going to be a pretty big update because there's a lot of questions that you guys have that you currently want answered. So we're going to try to get through pretty much everything. Now, I know that this has been a very up and down week the last 7 days. So I want to do my best to address everything that has been going on as always. For those that have never joined an AMA before, how the session is going to work is I had gathered questions from the community through a Google form, and then we put all of them inside of here. If you're on YouTube, you could see on the screen. So I'm going to go through everything that was submitted. I am the CEO of the Funded Trader. Little background: the Funded Trader, we launched in 2021. We've been running for 4 years now. Definitely have had some really great times, definitely have had some really bad times. But at this point, we've definitely hit a recovery period. And right now, we're continuing to just navigate all the challenges that come along with this type of business. So I'm doing this session to kind of bring you guys behind the scenes, to understand this business a little bit more, to be as transparent as possible with everybody. And hopefully, you guys learn a thing or two from the video in terms of, or from this session, in terms of what the company is about, what is on the mind of the community, and how the company is trying to address those things. And yeah, whatever else. So give me 1 second. Bring this in. All right, looks like now we're good. So if you guys, before we get started, if you want to participate in the giveaway inside of Discord, there's a form posted in the announcements channel. All you have to do is submit that form, and then you guys will be qualified for the giveaway after the session. I'm going to pick the winners. I believe it's going to be around 25 accounts are going to go out. So all you have to do is submit the form, and then we'll go ahead and send you an account afterwards if you are a winner. So let's get into it. First section is about rules and fairness. Why is TFT adding unfair rules to traders? And this is a very broad question. It really depends what you define as unfair or fair. We do have a survey that's running right now, and most of you guys have probably filled out the survey if you guys are also on the call as well. And part of the survey is just trying to understand, do people think that what we're offering is fair at the moment? Is what could we do to change things so that you guys think that everything is more fair? So that's part of the survey. And right now, for example, there is a question. Let's go to it right here. How would you rate your overall satisfaction with the recent changes announced for TFT challenges? So there's been 1,300 people who have submitted the poll so far, and there is over, let's see, 41, 61, 84% of people are voting above neutral. So 23% have voted neutral, 34% have voted satisfied, and 27% have voted very satisfied in terms of how they rate overall satisfaction with the recent changes to the challenges and policies. And then another question: to what extent do you agree with the following statement? The recent changes made by TFT are beneficial for traders. 40% agree, 23% strongly agree, and then 20% are neutral. So pretty much we have 63% of people either agreeing or strongly agreeing, 20% are neutral, that's about 80% of the 1,300, and then 9% disagree, and then 76% are 76 people, or 5.9%, strongly disagree. So I think what we're seeing here is generally there's a group of people who are very upset about the changes that are going on, and they obviously have a right to their opinion, and they have a right to be upset to an extent. But the majority of people, from what we're seeing, are actually satisfied with the changes to the challenges that have taken place, and there's a general understanding of what we're trying to do with the payout policy right now, which, in my opinion, is more than I thought there would be. I thought, based on Discord, based on the comments, and we'd be seeing that more people would be dissatisfied than apparently there is. And this is because Discord is just a part of the community. There's also people who aren't even on social media, who are only on Twitter, only on YouTube, etc. So not everyone is in Discord. So sometimes it looks like in Discord things are really a mess or things are really out of control. But when we step back and we look at kind of a wider population of people that are trading on the challenges, we could see that there's actually a very good sentiment towards what we're doing. Now, does that mean that we don't need to make changes? No, we definitely need to still hear your feedback, and revise things based on what you guys are telling us. Even especially the people in Discord, right? You're valuable members of the community. Um, but it's just better. It's good to take a step back and look at the whole picture, so we're not rushing into things. So uh, in terms of why is TFT adding quote unquote unfair rules? So in terms of the community, 80% of people actually don't think that they're unfair. And the reason that we're adding these rules is to continue to find the best mix for the product where the company makes money and the traders also have a great opportunity to make money as well. And there's never a situation where the company would run out of money. So that's really what we're trying to create. The more money the company makes, and what I mean by that is there's profit, there's a margin of profit there. It's really just comes down to the more money that we can push back into the community. At the end of the day, I would love to just take all the money myself, right? But that's just not the reality of what's happening here. And we're releasing our tax returns. So we're being very transparent about the money and where it's going, etc. So it's just going to take time. It's going to take patience. The hidden rules. So this is something that definitely want to address. So some people are experiencing when they reach the funded stage, they're essentially their accounts getting disabled. They're not allowed to get enabled for funded. They're being refunded. All their challenges are being refunded, and they're being told they cannot trade with us anymore. So at the moment, there is a team that we're using that is an outsourced risk team. So they're a third party outside of our company, and they're making recommendations in terms of which traders essentially we should continue to work with based on they're collecting data from 50 plus firms on trader behavior, and they're studying how traders are essentially trading, and they're saying that this person imposes a high risk to the firm, or this person is doing something against the terms of use, etc. I'm personally not very excited about this situation. I think that once you reach the funded stage, your account really should get enabled and you should be able to trade. At the end of the day, the company does hold all rights to refund you, and not work with you anymore at the end of the day. But I don't think, in my opinion, that that's fair. So this is something we've been talking about for a while. Is once we move to our prop tech, we're gonna be shifting and changing the dynamic of how this works. So instead of you getting refunded, not being able to trade with us anymore, um, there's going to be a slight change. Maybe we lower your leverage. Maybe we change your payout policy. Uh, like you're in some type of timeout or shadow band or something for a period of time. And the rules for that should be very transparent, very clear. What did you do? Why did you get put in this position? So that's what we have to move towards. I see other firms right now, they're banning people for risking too much on trades, etc., copy trading. There's a lot of stuff going on everywhere, in the industry, not just here. And it seems like when people go to social media, the firm tends to either reverse their decision or be more lenient or something. We're trying to not be in that position where we're letting social media dictate decisions that the company is making, like when it comes to enforcing rules. So yeah, once we do migrate, which right now the anticipated date to migrate to our own dashboard that we built is June 14th. So that is going to be announced soon officially, so you guys know when you're going to actually change dashboards and all that's going to be happening. Once we do that, there's going to be some changes that I believe will help balance things out. And until then, all I can do is really talk about it, address people who are experiencing this, and that's exactly what I'll do. The rules on the amounts on the trade you made before withdrawal are a bit unclear, especially the 50% of total and average of 3 trades are unclear, need more elaboration. So I believe you're talking about the rapid fire trading rule. This is something that in my opinion, is very straightforward. If you just look at the FAQ in the Help Center, you could see that it's literally just if you take a certain amount of trades within a certain time period, it's going to get flagged. So just go to the Help Center, review the article. In my opinion, it's very straightforward. There's examples there of exactly each scenario. If you still can't figure it out, feel free to tag me inside of Discord. We can improve the explanation for that rule, so you guys can understand it a bit more, or just show some more examples. So yeah, just let me know. I understand the need to be different, but with other firms, aren't these payout criteria going to hurt the business in the future? Um, I mean, it depends what you mean by hurt the business, right? I think from our perspective, we've kind of seen a lot of sides of this business. We've done 8 figures a month in revenue and had high 7 figures of costs, right? So even though we were doing 8 figures above 10 million in revenue, we were doing almost 10 million in costs to the business, right? So we had very small profit margins. So right now our goal is really just, if I were to be transparent with you guys, it's do 3 million in revenue, do about 1 million in payouts. So have a 30% payout to revenue ratio. We'll have about 20-30% in fixed costs. So it's another $1 million. Have $1 million left over in profit. Use that profit to clear any debt the company may have, or just use that to fund doing podcasts, doing giveaways, doing prizes, doing bonuses to fund the traders. Obviously, I'm not going to sit here and say that we wouldn't pay ourselves some money. At the moment, I don't even take a salary of the business. So I literally make zero money from the company right now. So yeah, I mean, that's the goal for us, is just if we can create the rules in a way and create the program in a way where we have that healthy margin, that's the best for all of us. We know that even in the event of a huge market situation, that we'll have money left over. We could save money as well, start to build up more of a treasure chest of funds. So yeah, that's really where our goal right now. Our goal is not to be like similar to the FTMOs of the world or these other people in the world. It's that damn music, man. It's not to be similar to those guys. It's to really do our own thing, to stand out. That's really where we're trying to be at. We understand that not everyone enjoys the rules that we're putting in place. We understand that the old TFT was very lenient in terms of the rules that we had, and very open ended. And I think that's what got us in trouble at the end of the day. And for us to do the right thing, I think that we need to be creative, and we need to create the rules in a way that have a healthy balance here. And I'm just reading the chat. You're standing out for being the worst firm around. Listen, if I was you and that was your opinion, right? I mean, you don't really need to participate in the community. You don't necessarily need to buy challenges. There's a lot of other firms that you can go to. Maybe what we're creating, the experience we're creating, is just not for you. And that's just the reality of the situation. I think it's important for us to address that. There's a community of people who, based on all the surveys we've run, which is really what we listen to with all these changes, they want their first payout and subsequent payouts to be either anytime or as fast as possible, 1-2 days between withdrawals. They want extremely low pricing when entering into the challenge. Um, they want to have different payout options. So that's something that we're going to announce today in terms of not just having Rise or crypto. We're also going to be adding Plane for all countries, and Plane is like a friendly option there. They want a good balance between the max drawdown and the profit target. For our one-step challenges, we have 8% max drawdown, which is really you can't find in the industry for our price point. They want soft breach on daily drawdown. That's something that they have. They want news trading, copy trading. They want all of that to be accessible, to be available and enabled. That's stuff that we have enabled as well. So yeah, do we have the new payout policy where your first payout is 15%, which is ridiculous. At the end of the day, it's a really small amount. We do, but at the end of the day, if you guys are confident in your ability to trade, if you guys want to spend the least amount of money to get started with the challenges, and if you guys want to become better traders, This program is something that's meant for consistent people that want to scale over time. And if that's not you, if you just want to get the funded account, punt it on the first payout, try to get the biggest payout possible, I completely understand. That's a reasonable way to think about all of this. And there's plenty of firms to do that with. But what we're trying to build is something that is a little bit different. We've had a really good experience building community in the past, and I'm confident that we can build around this new payout policy that we have. Do we need to potentially change it slightly based on your feedback? Yeah, that's why we have a survey out right now asking you guys for feedback. Um, but at the end of the day, I do believe that creating something that's more sustainable, that promotes consistency, that rewards the top people with the bonus pool, this is something that's gonna take time for people to gravitate towards, and the people that don't like it, you just leave. You don't come back, right? You don't purchase TFT challenges. That's fine. But the people who are up for the challenge, they're gonna see the benefits of it, and I think it's gonna bring the community together. And at this point, I'd rather have a community of 1,000 people who believe in the model that we're doing, who we can pay out in a few hours, and we can sustain, than a community of 100,000 people. We want to start small and we want to think big, and that's really where we're at right now. So, that being said, let's get into the next section, which is about the payout and profit split. Is the relaunch coupon eligible for refund after 3 payouts as stated? I have already made 6 payouts and still got none. That's why I'm asking if I should ever expect it. It's a great question. We do have a running list right now. It's supposed to be getting processed on a monthly basis, but it hasn't been for the last 3 months. So, we definitely need to release those payments to you guys. So yeah, at the end of the day, you are owed the refund. You are going to get a refund if you use the relaunch account coupon. We're going to look at one of your original orders to be able to, for the amount that we're going to actually send to you. I'm going to send out an update about this because we need to get this out the door at the end of the day. Is there a way to create a sustainable business with previous payout policy split 80% plus? For example, I would prefer 80% plus profit split from first payout. I don't mind having a payout cap of 5% for the first 2 payouts and 10% for the rest. Yeah, that's how we were doing it previously, but what we were seeing, the rules that we have in place, the daily march and the steadfast gains, or the consistency rule and the minimum profitable days rule, we thought that those rules would lower the pass rate transparently. What we're seeing is actually a bit strange. So those rules are actually increasing the pass rate. It seems as though the traders who are not as confident in their ability to trade just simply aren't purchasing the challenge because there's more rules. And the people who are purchasing are just really the more confident traders. And that's driving the pass rate up because it seems like we have a population of people who are more skilled, which is kind of interesting. So we have we have in the past had a sustainable business with the 80% split on the first payout, but we think that with the current rules in place and the pass rates that we're seeing, that having that first split be huge is not really going to be advantageous for us to be able to survive as a business. And we posted a blog article here. Let's see. We posted a blog article inside of the website, and I'm gonna post a post about this, letting you guys know about the article, and it has some stats around what our pass rates are, the percentage of people that make it past the first payout, etc. So I'm gonna post that so you guys get some more insights there, because every challenge is different. Every company is different in terms of the pass rate, in terms of the people that make it to first, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth payout. What we're seeing is more people are making it past the first payout in the new TFT than they were in the previous TFT. And that's something that obviously is different. It's because of the challenges that we have and the rules that we have in place. So I would recommend, if you submitted this question, the survey's out right now. Go to the survey and fill it out. There's some options there in terms of what we can do to get that first profit split up that we're considering. One of the things that I've seen is just firms requiring like a target in the funded account For example, you need to make 5% to be able to withdraw, or 8%, or 10%. We're considering something like that that could counterbalance the situation as well. So this is really a work in progress right now. We definitely ripped the band-aid off with the payout policy and just really went for it. And there's a lot of negative feedback, and there's a lot of neutral feedback, and a lot of positive feedback. And I will post the results from the survey, because the survey is filled out by you guys. I'm not filling out the survey. Our employees aren't filling out the survey. You guys are filling out the survey, and 80% of people are voting that they're satisfied with the recent changes with the funded trader. Now, there's 20% of people who either disagree or strongly disagree with these, and there's 1,300 people who submitted the survey. So there's about 250 people out of the 1,300 who strongly disagree or disagree. And that's why we're seeing a lot of comments inside of Discord of the people that disagree. The people that agree tend to not be shouting from the rooftops, right? They don't care. But the people who disagree, they're going to be loud everywhere. And that's what you're seeing, especially in the comments inside of Discord right now, in this chat, making a lot of noise. Listen, the reality is we're going to go by what the survey says. Does that mean in this moment that we're not going to change anything? No, there's some things here that we can definitely work on. But we have to listen to the majority of the people at the end of the day. Not saying people love this whole situation, but at the end of the day, we put a survey out and people are voting. And I personally thought it was going to be 80% disagree, but it's the opposite. So let's just say it like it is. Let's go to the next question. Is the payout split going to change? Great question. The answer is potentially, yeah. We're currently gathering some feedback from you guys in the survey. So there is definitely the possibility that it does change into something different. So let's see. Is there a possibility for 40-hour payout processing time? Yeah, so there's gonna be a post about this on Friday. The payout times since the change have been on average 5 hours. Previously, they were around 5 to 7 business days. So yeah, there's been a huge improvement in the processing time, which is really why we made this change. Because for me, the most important thing is just getting people paid, and getting people paid fast, and giving people an opportunity to continue trading. And that's what we've been able to accomplish for the last 4 years. And more recently, payout times have increased, and we just wanted to find the best way to alleviate that situation, and this is what we chose. Doesn't mean we're gonna die on this hill, but we're definitely going to continue to collect feedback, but we're gonna prioritize keeping the payout times down, because I think if you pay the least amount of money in the industry for a challenge, you have the quickest time to first payout, you have under 48-hour processing time. In the reality, what that means, and let's see. In the reality, what that means, guys, is you could buy an account, Royal Pro. You have the minimum trading days, obviously. I don't know off the top of my head exactly what it is, but let's say it's 5 on phase one, 3 on phase two, maybe it's 2 in funded. So you have 5, 3, you have 10 days to be able to get to your first payout. And if you get paid within 5 hours, you can get paid within 10 days. I think that's a great deal. The one-step challenges are even faster. You can get paid within 7 days on each of those with the new payout processing time. Now, is that first payout with the current split nothing crazy? Yeah, but you can get your journey started, and within a month, you can get up to that sixth payout. You can scale that account up. Not only that, you can learn a lot, and you can make a lot of progress in terms of just as a trader managing your risk and improving your skill set. So the other thing that I think people don't realize is you can buy 20 accounts right now. So you're not capped at 600K, you're not capped at 400K, you're not capped at 300K like these other firms. You can buy up to 2.5 million, and you could trade all of those accounts together if you really like to. You could use a trade copier to copy your own trades. You can have 20 accounts. Let's say you have 20 $100,000 accounts, and then you make 10,000 on every account because you copy trade all of them. The first payout splits 15%, as we know. That's $1,500. You would end up making, in that situation, 1,500 on 20 accounts. That's gonna be $30,000 within the first 10 days. So the reality is, if you guys are willing to put up the capital, if you guys are willing to take the risk on your skill set, there's a lot of potential here to still make money. I'm also going to post what happens on the old payout split, 80% over the course of 6 payouts if you make 10,000 for each payout versus the new profit split when you go up to 99%, what happens when you make 10,000 for each payout over 6 payouts. The reality is it's only about a $10,000 difference. So I think it's like you make 54,000 or some, I don't know the number off the top of my head, but you make like 54,000 with the old payout policy, and then you make 45,000 with the new payout policy. So the reality is there's still a lot of money to be made here, and that's why people are voting on the survey that they're not overly dissatisfied at the current moment. All right, let's move on. Quick reminder, if you want to get in the giveaway, guys, just post in the survey. So right now in the announcements of Discord, it's also in the giveaway channel. Go ahead, fill out a question that you guys want answered. If you're in the chat right now and you're posting questions, I am looking at the chat, but I am not taking questions from the chat right now. So if you want a question answered, just go ahead, submit it in the form. I'll either answer in this session or I'll answer in the following session as well. So all of you guys posting negative comments in there, you can have fun. That's your right to. But like I said earlier, there's already 1,300 people that have voted on the survey. I'm going to put the survey out publicly. I'm personally very surprised about these results. Around 80% of people have voted. They're either satisfied, very satisfied, or neutral on the recent changes to our challenges and payout policy. 25% voted neutral. The rest voted satisfied or very satisfied. I have no idea why. Based on the feedback that we've been getting in Discord, that's surprising to me. But that's just the reality. About 250 people out of 1,300 voted that they either disagree or strongly disagree with the new policies. And that's why we're opening the conversation, having it, because at the end of the day, we want everyone to be on board with what we're doing, not just 80% of people. We want 100% of people. And we're still going to listen to you guys. But the reality is there's 80% of people who are just simply not commenting on the matter, or they are, and they're actually not of your perspective. So some of you need to realize that about what's going on right now. Still, we're going to collect the feedback and make changes, but that is the reality of the feedback that we've gotten so far in the survey. Let's go next. Platforms and features. Will MT5 ever be offered for US-based customers? Great question. I don't think MT5 is interested in offering their services to US-based customers, and that's just the reality. Do I think there's other platforms that either already out or are going to be released which create a similar experience to MT5? Yes. And that's really what we're focused on. Will MT5 be available for non-US? Yes. But yeah, that's the answer to that question. Why in your challenge do you not use a stop on feature, but yet on the funded account you do? I've had a few trades of mine which would have been paid out very well, but it hit the stop on before there was the ability for the trade to progress. I based my entire trading strategy on the way I traded in this challenge and get to the funded, and I've lost $600 because of this. I feel both the challenge and funded account should be the same. I don't honestly know exactly what you mean, so I'm not going to answer this. If you guys have further explanation of this question, just post in the Discord chat and I'll take a look at it. Is it possible to add a real profit that can be withdrawn upon passing the challenge and it is 3%? I mean, it's a good question. So you're saying challenge profits, is it possible to pay out based on challenge profits? We've run those promotions in the past. Honestly, they haven't even been that popular. So it hasn't been like a difference maker when we added a 10% bonus from the challenge phase to like a promotion. So I don't think, for whatever reason, this is not something that's like the majority of people really care about. The people care about the price, they care about the profit split, they care about the time to first payout, they care about the time it takes for the payout to be processed. They want to trade news, they want to use trade copiers, they want automated systems to be on. They just want a free trading environment. They want to hold trades overnight, over the weekend, etc. That's what's important to people based on all the surveys I've run and I understand. So yeah, I don't think we'll be adding a real profit from the challenge phase at this time because it's really just not make or break. All right, let's go to the next one. So someone said can't even hear him. Let me know in Discord if you guys can hear me all right. It's probably your system because I see that the audio is okay. So we'll pause real quick. Let me know if the audio is good. Okay, cool. All right, let's keep going. When are you bringing back the reward system, treasure hunt? Um, yeah, treasure hunt was a great initiative. The only problem with it was just getting really unorganized with all the coupons. That's for a reason, kind of internally. That's you guys have nothing to do with. We just couldn't create the coupons in like this one system, and we had to create another one. Just caused a mess. So yeah, we're rebuilding right now. I'm building this application which is called Content Rewards. You guys are gonna be able to cut our podcast clips, post images, post tweets, and we're gonna pay you guys for the amount of views that you get on these posts. Um, I've really been wanting to work on that more than I have been recently. Just been busy with managing all this shit. But that is something I'm working on. So basically, like, if you post a video and get 100,000 views for that campaign, we might say, okay, per every 1,000 views, you earn $1. So if you get 100,000 views, that would be you'd earn like $100 or something, right? And then you could put that towards a challenge. It's just an example. You might make more than that. I don't know the exact numbers right now. And then you'd earn coins, and then those coins can be redeemed for coupons or challenges, etc. Um, we got some international questions here. So we are bringing back some type of reward system. It was really popular back in the day, so we are working on that. Trading strategies and insights. What is the trading method of the CEO of TFT? Personally, right now, just holding, not day trading at all. Day trading requires a ton of focus, ton of discipline, a ton of energy. I'm putting the majority of my like great like good energy into into TFT, into this company. So that's when I wake up, that's what I'm focused on. I'm not focused on trading myself right now. But if I was, the markets is very interesting at the moment, especially stocks. I know we don't have stocks, but with Trump going up and down, there's definitely a lot of money to be made there. So curious with you guys, right? You trading futures, forex, stocks, right? What are you guys mainly trading? I imagine mainly forex. What is next? What's a trading strategy or market insight you once dismissed but later realized was actually valuable? It's a very interesting question. I think for me, I just always focused on technicals, and the reality is the best way to trade, in my opinion, from everyone I've spoken with, is just finding a catalyst through fundamental, through some type of macroeconomic change or some policy or some upcoming news that's coming out, etc. Some key development that's happening within the world. When you're trading forex, currencies, I think that it's really important to understand the macroeconomic environment, and what's actually happening. And this might sound like a broken record, guys, but anyone who doesn't understand the fundamentals of how the market moves, I would recommend that you go in that direction and you really start to research that. And let's say you're a really good technical trader right now. It's kind of like in MMA, you could be really good at boxing and just get choked out with jiu-jitsu or just get wrestled into oblivion. So if you're really good at technicals right now, I think you should really try to focus on fundamentals, try to focus on some other, maybe reading the order book, some other methods that you can use, some type of volume weighted average, something more sophisticated than the actual moving averages. You should have multiple dimensions to the strategy, in my opinion, that can help validate and further kind of solidify that this is a good setup that you should take, and you should also define all of your setups. So that's my opinions there. CEO personal questions. What has been the biggest challenge in your life? How did you manage to overcome it? Um, I mean, listen, I think we all have challenges of different degrees in each of our lives. I'm going to say right here, some of your guys' biggest challenge right now might be the payout policy, right? They might be TFT's payout policy. It might be getting rejected a payout. It might be getting refunded when you reach the funded stage. It might be losing not winning a giveaway, right? These might be the biggest challenges in your lives right now, or it might be not having drinking water, not having food, not having shelter. Um, Everyone has kind of different challenges in their life, and to kind of say that I had this big challenge, right? It just doesn't make sense, because in the reality, that doesn't can't relate to everyone else. Everyone has a different degree of challenges, and they annotate that as the biggest challenge of their life. So I'll just comment on this. How do I manage overcoming challenges? Um, it gets difficult, right? You mentally, it's really more about the mental game than anything else. You can work really hard, right? You can continue to learn. You can continue to meet people who have overcome something similar to what you have. I think those are all important. But at the end of the day, you have to figure out a way to mentally just be stable, mentally be neutral, and just have that mindset where you're gonna be in it for the long game, and no matter what happens, you are gonna overcome it at some point. And right now, you might not be in the situation you want to be in, but you just got to keep pushing and you got to just stay positive. You just have to find solace in the journey, find solitude in the journey. So, to summarize all of that is if you have a challenge, just know that one day it'll be over. One day you can get through it. We'll get through it, and try to just find joy in the process of navigating that situation. All right, let's go. General comments, best company. I like that one. Whoever put that, let me know when you win an account. International questions. So it looks like we got, hello, I'm interested in the $20,000 account. I need to make 2,000. What's the time frame for that? So this is like a very basic question. But let's say you buy a $100,000 account, right? And so let's go based on the new payout policies. Let's say that you have 15% payout, 45% payout, 60% payout, etc. And you want to make $2,000. So you have $100,000. Let's say you make $10,000. Let's say the payout cap is 5%. So you can withdraw $5,000 on your first payout. You're going to end up withdrawing $750. And then let's say you make another $5,000 and then you withdraw on your second payout. You get a 45% payout. You withdraw $5,000. You're going to get around $2,350. So that's going to be $2,350 plus $750. So you're over $3,000 already. And then let's say you make it to the third payout, you make $5,000, you request 60%. You're going to be getting about $3,000 on that, etc., etc. And then by the time you reach the fourth payout, 85%, fifth payout, 95%, sixth payout, 99%, etc. And then you get access to the bonus pool. So the bonus pool, I think right now no one believes it. They think it's just bullshit, etc. And I understand. There's currently 12 people who are qualified for the bonus pool out of 1,100, I believe, funded traders. So it means they made it past the sixth payout. They have an account that currently has 99% profit split. At the end of the month, we're going to announce the pool. So maybe it's $50,000, and whomever has the most net profit is going to make the most percentage from that $50,000, and they'll get the bonus. Hopefully they'll be active in Discord and they can post and you guys can see it's actually real, etc. But yeah, let's see the bonus pool. Let's see how it works out. But this is it for the questions that I had. We had the general comment right here, best company. Love that one. So listen, guys, I know there's a lot of people right now on the call that feel a certain type of way about the payout policy right now. They think it's unfair. They think it's unjust. Personally, I think that you guys are justified. It's something that no other company has ever done, right? Who the hell has done 15% on the first payout? Seems like fucking nuts, right? I don't disagree with you guys. I think at the end of the day, what's most important is that we pay out on time, that we continue to give people the opportunity to trade, and we have the lowest prices in the industry and the quickest time to first payout. That's the goal and that's the plan, and that's what we're currently moving and executing on. That being said, you guys have been supporting us this whole entire time. You guys have been putting your money into TFT, putting your time into the community, etc. So we are going to take your feedback very seriously. We feel a responsibility to, at the end of the day, listen to you guys and give you guys a community and a product that you can actually be proud of and want to put money into. So we hear you. We're not just like silencing you or deafening you. We definitely are going to do something. We're figuring out exactly what the options are at the moment. So right now, the best thing that we can do, if it was you guys, is go vote on that survey that's posted about the changes. Really take it intentionally and fill it out. Don't just blow through it because you want to get in on the giveaway. So participate in that. That's going to give us a really good idea of what do people actually think about what we're doing, right? It's easy to look at Discord, read through, and just be like, oh, this is a mess. Everyone hates this, right? There's people that aren't in Discord though. There's people that are only on Twitter, only on YouTube, on email, etc. Um, so we're getting feedback from all angles, from the entire community, everyone that wants to give their feedback. We're getting that right now from them, and we're gonna take that and we're gonna make some moves based on that. That's the direction that we're gonna go. Up until this change, we've pretty much listened to you guys. We've gave you options, and you voted on pretty much every change. This one we kind of just had to rip the band-aid off. It was not easy decision to make, but it just had to be made. So listen, like we're definitely gonna gather some feedback and listen to you guys right now. So let's do this. There's been a lot more questions posted since we started the call. Let's go ahead and we'll answer another round because we still have some more time. And while I'm getting this ready, make sure if you guys want to participate in the giveaway, just go and post in the form. It's in the announcements channel right now. Submit whatever question you guys have. I'm gonna pick 25 winners after this call. So let's go through some more questions. And yeah, I'm using ChatGPT to organize the questions here. Let's see. All right, so why is TFT adding unfair rules to traders? So if you guys have not seen or heard this part, I covered it earlier in the call. This is recorded. It'll be on YouTube. There'll be timestamps on this, so you can go to that section. Let's see. Are there any plans to improve transparency in how traders and accounts are evaluated, especially regarding violations and account disclosures? Yeah, I mean, we're continuing to always try to improve that process. People saw recently with the copy trading violations that we actually sent out some like emails trying to disclose more information on each of those cases to justify what the hell happened there. So we are continuing to listen to your feedback there, make adjustments, try to make it as clear as possible. So yeah, that's always the goal, is how do we be more transparent? How do we show more to you guys? How do we get you guys to understand more of what's going on? Let's see. Just one question. I also believe, are we going back to the TFT who used to be the giant who was leading the industry? I mean, listen, the reality is we don't need to be that company to be very successful and for all of us to be making money, earning free accounts, earning opportunities, etc. Now, is the goal, my personal goal is to have a platform with over 500,000 users on it. As of right now, TFT has around 15,000 users on it. So we have a long way to go. At our peak, we had around, I think, 120,000 users. Right? So right now, we are a very small company. I say that, but like the reality is we're not necessarily a small company, but in my opinion, we are. We have a long way to go to build things back up. Listen, it took 3 years to get to where we were previously. It's been 1 year into the relaunch. 2 years from now, let's see where we're at. Let's see who's leading the industry. Let's see who's making moves. I personally think that we have the best ideas. We have the best team. So we have the most creative stuff when it comes to the dashboard. And you guys are gonna see that when we go to our technology in it's gonna be about 4 weeks now when we actually make it there. So let's see what happens. What are you guys doing to build goodwill that you had earlier? Well, in April, it was actually our best month on Trustpilot since the relaunch. We had a 4.3 rating. That's a very different rating from where we were at even 6 months ago. So we've been slowly building back some trust with the community. Obviously, this payout policy has made people have a lot of doubts and has made people kind of like, fuck, this company is fucking me over type of thing. Which at the end of the day, I understand that perspective. But we think that with the improved payout processing time and just like the more smooth operations, getting plain launch as a payout method, we can continue to stack on those small wins to build more trust with the people who still want to trade with us. The rules on the amounts on trades you made before withdrawal are a bit unclear, especially if 50% of the total in the hour. Yeah, so I think this is more so about the consistency rule. It's very straightforward. Your largest day cannot be more than 50% of your total profit. That means that if you have $10,000 in profit, you cannot make more than $5,000 in a single day. That is it. That is the rule. It is not like overly complicated. When you withdraw, let's say that you withdraw and your largest day was $5,000, it will reset. So the day of your withdrawal, let's say that you had $10,000 in profit, you withdraw $5,000, your largest day was 4,999, you have $5,000 in profit left. You can take another trade the day you withdraw or start trading the day after. It will reset the consistency rule. Let's say your new largest day is $500. You can then actually withdraw the money again. You can do another withdrawal if your account has anytime payouts. So I hope I answered that question a little better. According to challenge phases, trading March a day remove requests. So it sounds like you want to remove the daily March. Um, Personally, I've seen the surveys. I don't think people, like the majority of people, don't really care about removing the required amount to make in a given day. I think the people that want to remove that are at the end of the day people that we don't even really want on the platform. They're people that make all their profit in one day, and then pass the account and they punt the funded account and try to get the largest payout possible. And those are the clients that we're trying to steer away from the company. Can you please make the soft breach a 2 hour pause instead of the whole day? We were actually considering this. That's a good idea. Right now, technically, we couldn't make it happen just because of the dashboard. But this is something that we might be able to do or we can do once we get to our dashboard. And I think that this is something better for both of us. I think pausing you for the whole day, transparently, like when you hit your daily drawdown and you get paused to the next day, it actually lengthens the whole cycle of when you're going to probably buy another account. We obviously want people to be buying accounts, that we're in the business of selling challenges. That's just the reality. If you're paused and you can't trade your account, it's just extending the challenge longer and longer. The likelihood of you buying a new account is becoming later and later. So it's kind of like at the casino, right? Why do they put all these certain colors? Why do they position the poker table and the blackjack in a certain place? Why do they give you drinks all the time at the tables, etc.? They want you to keep playing, right? Not saying we're a casino, but end of the day, we're a trading game. We want people to be playing the game. So I think lowering the daily pause from going until the new day to being a 2 hour thing, I think that's a good idea. Sir, why are payouts not paid on time? So payouts are being paid on time right now. So no other comments on that. Is the relaunch eligible? Is the relaunch coupon eligible? So we answered that one earlier in the call. When will people that aren't owed payouts but just want the money back from challenges they purchased? So we're not doing any refunds. The reason we're not doing any refunds is as soon as you purchase an account, we start getting billed for the platform. We start getting billed for the execution. We start getting billed for the technology. So we're in the hole as soon as you purchase the account and it gets sent to you and you get credentials, we're already negative. So you guys cannot then request a refund, because if you do, then the company will not be able to sustain itself if that's the case. And it's something we did previously. We used to do refunds. Like if you didn't take a trade, we would refund you. But that's just one of the reasons why the company got into a bad position. We answered this one already. Can we get previous payout percentage? Who knows? We're gathering feedback now. That's potentially something that we are looking at. So look out in Discord and on your email, because we're going to be sending out some additional polls after this one wraps up. Can you pay funded account on daily payout? Right now, Night Pro and Night are currently anytime payouts, and Royal Pro is 2 day payouts. How often are your withdrawals? So again, like I just said, Night Pro, anytime. Royal Pro is every 2 days, and the payout times are under 2 business days. 15% payout is very awkward. At least make it 30%. Yeah, we're floating around this idea right now. I think 15% is like, everyone was like, holy shit, 50%? These guys are fucking jokers, right? So I think right now we have to do something, so we're looking at it. Payouts here is good. Thank you, sir. Payout on demand is available or not? Yes, it is. We went over this one. We went over this one. Will you increase leverage on Royal Pro accounts like it was at the start? Um, Potentially. We have to really sit down and see how everything is impacting everything. So we're trying to gather all that data right now so we can roll out some improvements to the challenges, right? It's not just about making things harder. It's also about making things more fair for you guys, because we're not trying to create like Mission Impossible here, because there's definitely no Tom Cruises in here. So we do need to consider what's been going on, what are the pass rates, what are the payout rates, etc., and how we can make things more fair for you guys. That's also on the mind as well. When will crypto payments be enabled for all countries? So they're currently enabled for the majority of countries that use our platform. US recently got enabled. I don't know when any additional countries will be enabled for crypto. It's not on the plan right now. Is the static drawdown type coming to the Night Pro challenges? There's kind of a trade-off. If you want the static drawdown, we need to enable the consistency rule to balance things out on the challenge phase. And people actually voted in that survey. The majority would rather have a consistency rule in the challenge phase than have the static draw or then have relative drawdown. So let's see. When are instant funding coming? June 14th, right around that date. What will be the instant funding 100K price and max drawdown limit? Shooting for 8% max drawdown price ideally is under $400, probably even cheaper. Why can't the daily breach level be 5% instead of 3? We noticed with the pass rates going higher and the soft breach with the daily drawdown, people were kind of gaming the daily march because they had 5% drawdown. They'd open a position, they'd let it just float up and down until it hits 1%, and then they would pass the daily march like that. Obviously, you're risking breaching the daily drawdown, but it's a soft breach, so people don't care. So lowering to 3% reduces the chance of someone being able to just float and hit the daily profit, which is what we're looking for. It's still a soft breach, but there's less wiggle room there. And that at the end of the day helps to balance things out for us. Is it possible to add real profit? We went over this one. What are the exact profit targets, daily loss limits, max overall drawdown? I would just check out inside of your dashboard, go to downloads, and there is a comparison chart of all the challenges. Just go check that out. We tried to make it simple there. Business model. Is your current business model profitable? Is the majority of your revenue from prop traders data or from challenge purchases? So all of the revenue is from challenge purchases right now, to be very clear about that. We are not currently monetizing the data in any type of way. There are strategies that we've found that could be profitable trading, but the reality is until we get to our own dashboard, we don't have necessarily the access that we need to really scale those strategies up. So that has always been a goal of the company. We have had periods of time where we have done more trading, but right now it's just challenge revenue, and I want to be very clear about that. How do you think you can keep up with a dry demand since the economy is not booming and prop firms will be slower too? It's a good question. I mean, that's why we have the model the way that it is with the rules in place. We're trying to find a sustainable model even in the worst case scenario when it comes to the market, the demand, the economy, etc. So that's the struggle right now, right? Like when things are booming and like everyone's got money, everyone's buying stuff, the market's neutral, it's not going parabolic. It's great times for the prop firm, right? You can sustain any model. But when things are really volatile, when people don't have a lot of disposable income, it becomes more challenging for the firm, especially if it's just relying on challenge revenue. So we're trying to navigate that position. Obviously, right now the market's been crazy. Demand in the industry has been kind of like neutral a little bit. So we're trying to navigate that and like understand, okay, we're in our worst case scenario right now. How do we still make this a profitable model even in this scenario? Given the high turnover rate in the prop trading industry, how does your firm ensure long-term stability and success for both the firm and its traders? Yeah, I mean, with the high turnover rate, it's all about how do we create an experience that people want to come back to. I think right now a lot of people don't want to come back because of the payout policy. Um, and that's just the reality of the situation, and we respect that. But at the end of the day, we have to listen to these people, we have to make adjustments, and we have to try to find a way where people do trust the business and the company enough to want to come and spend their money again and spend their time at the end of the day and their skill on our challenge versus the others, or in addition to the others. um, so how do we ensure long-term stability? It's just creating balanced rules, listening to traders, and giving back at the end of the day. Like, it's not just about me pocketing profit. We have always been a company who's given back the majority of the money that we've made, and that's why you can see on Twitter the amount I've personally made from the business. I pin it on my Twitter account. I could have made a lot more from this business if I was more greedy and less uh, like giving, I guess, to the traders, less giving to the community. We could have done a lot more to make a lot more money, but we didn't, and maybe we should have. Who knows, right? But I think that's what it's about. It's just about giving back. That's how you build a community at the end of the day, and listening to feedback. What steps are taken to mitigate risks of market volatility, poor capital allocation, and other factors that could lead to financial instability? For us, it's really just evaluating like the rules of the challenge, how those are currently performing, the pass rates, the subsets of traders within each demographic, within each country, how are they performing, and those are going to be the key indicators to tell us, do we need to make changes, are things good, are we being too aggressive with the rules that we put in place, etc. Right? Is the company making too much money? um, that's all things that are being considered to try to navigate this entire situation. What are you guys doing to help traders become more profitable? I think with our the way our challenges are structured, the reality is we have become a firm that has a program where either inexperienced traders don't want to trade with us because they think it's too difficult, or they do trade with us, and because of all the rules we have in place, if they stick to them, they read everything carefully and they stick to them, they end up becoming more consistent and actually becoming a better performing trader. Um, or we have just traders who are more experienced, more comfortable with the rules, they understand things more. Um, and at the end of the day, like, they're more comfortable with the idea of there being a minimum daily profit, there being a consistency rule, there being payout cap, there being a payout policy, right? And they're just navigating it because they're more professional and they're more skilled. So I think that's how we're helping traders with our challenges. Anything in addition to that, I think is just a bonus. Um, do we want the community to like become creators of educational material that others can look at? Yeah, like we have some ideas there. I'm not going to get too much into detail about that. Um, but yeah, let's see how to become a good trader. I would say try to connect with other good traders. There's a lot of good traders inside of Discord who have gotten payouts, who are actually positive in terms of the amount they spend on challenges versus payouts. So find somebody like that, have them mentor you, and at the end of the day, you're gonna have to trade and do it yourself. So spend a lot of time trading by yourself, evaluating your performance. And what I mean by that is journaling, like documenting your setups, and it's all just about information. So study yourself, study the information that you create, and improve that and the strategy around that, and that's how you become a good trader, in my opinion. Um, Boom. I saw the TFT is growing amazingly. Wish you the best of luck. So yeah, that's pretty much it. So we've gone through all the questions that have been submitted for today's session. So I see there's a lot of people inside of the Discord. This is the only thing that you guys need to do right now is go to the announcements channel, fill out the survey, which is for this session. Just put a question in there. I'll try to answer it on the next session. Let's get into some updates for the company. So we had obviously this AMA right now. The next one will be in 2 weeks. We'll be having these bi-weekly from now on. We'll be having an enhanced support day tomorrow, so you'll be able to submit into a form that will be posted if you have any type of support issues. Specifically, if you are someone owed a relaunch account or one of those payouts from March 2024, this is going to be your opportunity to get that done. For payout settlements, we're continuing to make progress there and get those paid. We have another round of settlements that are about to begin. So we started sending people their accounts, their contracts, for them to start being able to sign the contracts, etc., do the withdrawals. I'm gonna post some updates about that as well. In terms of the current operations, so payouts, like I said, currently averaging around 5 hours of processing time. I expect that to increase and level out to around like 1 business day, most likely. Um, that's just because normally we're processing payouts once per day. So towards the end of the day is when we're starting to send them. We're also launching Plain as a payout option today. So the process is developed. The only thing I don't like about Plain is that their onboarding process is very like drawn out. It's a lot more drawn out than Rise. And what I mean by that is you will request your payout, then we have to invite you to Plain. You have to accept the invite, provide us information, then we can send you the contract, then you sign the contract, then we can sign the contract, and then you're onboarded to Plain. So it's like 4 back and forths between you and us, which is just very inefficient in my opinion. So I do expect people that request via Plain for you to get paid in like 3 business days or 4 business days, just because the whole process is just so drawn out. So Rise is really easy. You request the payout, the invite is automated. You accept the invite, you onboard, you're accepted, we pay you. It's easy. Crypto, easy, same thing. You send your address, we pay you. That's it. Plain is going to be, in my opinion, like a more extended payout process, but that's going to be getting launched today. There's a lot of updates with the new dashboard. There's a lot of new stuff we're working on with it, like a trade copier, an achievement system, the ability for you to withdraw to your own internal wallet and then use those funds to buy challenges. There's like your own daily, your own drawdown that you can set, your ability to close all positions. You can set up like blockers on your account where you can't trade for the rest of the day if you hit certain profit or certain drawdown. So we're working on all those things for the new dashboard. So I'm personally very excited about that. And it's supposed to launch around June 14th, but we're going to announce official date very soon. And other than that, the biggest thing is all the feedback that we've been getting on the payout policy. We're going to take all that feedback in. We're going to evaluate it today and tomorrow, and then we're going to post some updates about that. So I just want to make it clear, like, we definitely hear you guys in terms of there being a lot of opinions around the payout policy. We're going to see what we can do to try to improve things there. But that's pretty much it. So I'm going to announce the winners of the giveaway shortly. I appreciate you guys coming on the session, taking the time to hear me out. At the end of the day, anyone that missed the session, this is recorded, will be on YouTube, and the timestamps will be on there as well. So I wish you all the best of luck if you are trading challenges right now. If you guys have decided not to trade with TFT, I wish you guys the best of luck as well. And I'll be inside of Discord later today, ripping through, answering questions in there. So just tag me if you guys need me. So I'll catch you guys on the next AMA session later.